after the Lizzie tour, you know.
Little Rainbow in the Dark to take us out.
Oh, you're kidding. I'm not with this. No. I don't think so. We'll play the easy part. Yeah.
Vivian Campbell. Hey, here we are in your Uncle Joe's garage, outfitted by California Car Cover. You know, this month is NASCAR month in your Uncle Joe's garage, and don't forget, Sprint Cup cars coming, the Auto 400. You can get your tickets at autoclubspeedway.com. Special guest, an old friend with me here today in the garage, Vivian Campbell. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Joe. Nice to see you again.
We always start things out, something historic. Your first car, no matter how embarrassing it may have been.
Actually, it wasn't embarrassing. I had a couple of banger cars that were off the road when I was about 14, 15, because I grew up just outside of the city, and there was a bit of land, so I could drive a bit. And I actually started driving when I was about 9 or 10. I remember.
Yeah. This is yeah. Where did you grow up?
Just outside of Belfast in Northern Ireland.
Just outside of Belfast. Okay, that explains the accent then. So you were driving something when you were...
Yeah, I bought a 64 Mark I Midget.
Oh.
For £30. Yeah.
Which would be like $60.
That was a fair amount of money. Yeah, I had to work. Yeah, I worked every weekend. I was very motivated to work for the things I wanted, like cars, and then I worked a lot to buy my first Gibson Les Paul, 17987 You know the serial number of your first guitar because you had to work for over a year to pay for it. So yeah, every school holiday, every weekend I worked. I wanted, and I was really into cars as well as guitars. So I bought this Mark I Midget. It had failed its MOT, which was a Ministry of Transport. It's a road safety certificate you needed to register the car. So it was off the road, and it was great. I loved it. Like a Nardi style wood rim steering wheel.
Nice. Was this big enough to get the guitar and an amplifier in?
No, I didn't have to go anywhere. I didn't have a driver's license.
Oh, a mere technicality.
Yeah, so I just, I'd drive it up and down like the laneway to the house, and then when my parents were away, I'd drive it on the road. Unfortunately, I didn't.
Can't imagine how that would work.
Yeah.
So you've been through quite a bit with cancer yourself.
Yeah, it's an ongoing battle, 3 rounds of chemo, stem cell transplant that kept coming back. Hodgkin's lymphoma is my cancer, which if you're going to get cancer, that's the one to get. It's
okay.
If you get to tick that box, take that one. And I'm currently doing a course of treatment called immunotherapy. I've been doing this since June last year. And part of a phase 2 clinical trial, I'm taking a drug called pembrolizumab, which is what cured Jimmy Carter's melanoma. It's the wonder drug of the new monoclonal antibodies that are being tested for various cancers, and we're starting to see good results with it. So minimal side effects, as you can tell. I'm very healthy, a little bit too healthy, perhaps.
And you still play guitar quite well.
Well, I can hold one.
But yeah, well,
I own a few. Go back there.
When we first met, you had just joined Dio, so you must have been like 13 or something like that.
Yeah. 21 actually. I just turned 21 when I came.
And the band you were working with included Vinny Appice on drums, one of the loudest, hardest drummers there is in all of rock and roll.
He is, yeah.
To the side of John Bonham. Jimmy Bain on bass, and you recently got those guys together, recently in the last year or so, and you formed, is the band officially called Last in Line?
It's called Last in Line after the second Dio album that we did with Ronnie, yeah.
And this is the heaviest guitar you've played in quite a while. I mean, you did tour with Thin Lizzy, Personal Heroes.
Yeah, and actually it was my little brief tour with Lizzy in 2011 that led me to call Vinny and Jimmy. I came off of that tour just so inspired about guitar again, because those were the songs of my youth. Being on stage with Scott Gorham and Brian Downey, playing Emerald, playing Jailbreak, playing Don't Believe a Word, Black Rose. It just unleashed my inner 16-year-old. So I came off the tour, and that's when I called Jimmy and Vinny. We started jamming, and one thing led to another. We met this great young singer called Andrew Freeman.
Well, he's got quite a voice.
He certainly does, yeah. Andrew's a terrific talent.
Well, if you're going to cover Dio, you should have a voice.
Yeah, and he doesn't have the tonality of Ronnie, which is what made it interesting to me. If he had it done, I wouldn't have wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Ronnie was the best of his genre, and he was so unique. He was a very, very powerful singer. But Andrew is very powerful also, and very passionate, very strong. And the fact that he didn't sound like Ronnie, he took it in a different direction, kind of made it his own. But yet, when Vinny and Jimmy and I play, it's the unmistakable sound of the early Dio band. So it was an interesting juxtaposition, you know, and that's what made it possible for me in my mind. And so I just said right there and then, let's call it Last in Line, because Ronnie had passed away about a year or so prior to all this happening. And it just made sense to me, because if we were going to go out and do it, we were the last in line now. Yeah. And that was the record. You know, we wrote the song with Ronnie, we played on that record. So it kind of seemed like, in a way, kind of reclaiming our heritage, you know? And that was interesting for me, because I had for many years disassociated myself with my heritage because of what had happened and the way things had happened. It left a really bad taste in my mouth. I wanted nothing to do with it. And perhaps it was because of Ronnie's passing that I was able to go back to that, and other things going on in my life, just a passage of time and experience and a lot of water under the bridge, and you know, that kind of brought me back to that place. And it's been a very joyous last few years, just reconnecting with Jimmy and Vinny and playing those songs again, and then that led us to actually making a new record, which just recently came out.
And the name of the record is?
Heavy Crown.
Some heavy guitar on this as well.
There is, yeah. I mean, Heavy Crown seemed like an appropriate title. It's the name of one of the songs on the record, you know, because a lot of people were obviously going to make that comparison to early Dio and to Ronnie, you know, with Andrew being the singer with us. So not that the song has anything to do with that at all, but it just, when I looked at the titles of the songs once the album was done and we were looking for an album title, that one really just seemed like the obvious choice.
Def Leppard going back out on the road. Rock Brigade, I like the name of the tour, with REO. And I got stories about REO from high school, but that's a different thing. You're going to be playing new music?
Yeah. Well, we toured last summer, and the new Def Leppard album only came out at the end of October, so we only got to play one new song in the US right towards the end, the last couple of weeks of that tour. So we will be playing, I'd say, at least 3 from the new album on this tour.
Looking forward to seeing it. I want to thank you for taking the time to come in. We'll talk about music next time a little bit deeper. As long as you're playing guitar, you're pretty solid on this. Vivian Campbell. The Uncle Joe's Garage. So you worked with Steel Panther as well?
Yeah, that was all around the same time. Yeah, it's a Lizzie thing. And we played Rainbow in the Dark a couple of times together, and Holy Diver, and that was all part of the same thing. I wanted to get back to playing guitar like that after the Lizzie tour, you know.
Little Rainbow in the Dark to take us out?
Oh, you're kidding. I'm not with this. No. I don't think so. We'll play the easy part. Yeah.
Vivian Campbell.
Enough.
Hey, I know that you, yes you, haven't been in the Uncle Joe's Garage yet, but I got some good news. We have created a mobile version of the Uncle Joe's Garage, thanks to our friends at Mike Thompson RV Superstores. Like they say, don't miss a moment. And don't miss the mobile Uncle Joe's Garage coming to location near you.